Not just at Ross, too. Say goodbye. Thank you.
Visit our newest stores.
Well, won't you guys, because my server reset again because I don't too much at a time. And it's because mostly I deleted this server and tried to rejoin it.
One winner is guaranteed $100,000. Don't miss out. The Rivers Casino $1 million 1-year anniversary wall of cash this July. For more info, go to playrivers.com.
It is the most talked about venue of these games.
Watching
The Horse Guards Parade, with striking views of iconic British landmarks like Big Ben and the London Eye. And now the playing surface is covered with 5,000 tons of sand, a modern and majestic setting for beach volleyball. The women's tournament began this morning. Shea Chen and Zheng Shi, bronze medalists in Beijing in 2008, taking on Anastasia Vesina and Anna Vorskakova of Russia. Now the Chinese duo came in as the number 2 seed. The Russians 23rd. China took the first set in the best-of-3 match, 21-18. But then Russia won the second set to force a decisive third set. And on the match point for Russia, after a long rally, China was under the answer, and the Russians win in 3 sets, upsetting the heavily favored Chinese. Also this morning, the men's road race began almost 4.5 hours ago. Now a little more than an hour left to go. The riders heading back towards central London, and we go back to our guys with the golden voices. They've been there all day. Steve Schlanger, Paul Sherwood. Guys.
This is the front of the race. 2 groups have come together. We now have one large group at the very front, 4 hours, 20 minutes in, but just about 45 seconds ahead of the main field led by the team from Great Britain. And we have 2 Americans in this group now, Tim Duggan and Taylor Finney.
We're looking up here at the front. This is the Danish rider, Fuglsang, on the front in the red and white jersey. This is a very serious breakaway group now. The rider just peeking through there in the light blue jersey with the little nose plaster there was Philippe Gilbert, one of the most dangerous riders in this group. Alongside him in the blue and yellow jersey, that of course is André Grifko, the man who really started this countermeasure here to come across to the gap. I've noticed that Taylor Finney is very active in the front end of this group. He's actually been part of the great group chasing across the gap, and that makes 2 Americans now in the leading group, but their advantage is only about 45 seconds over the main field.
This is their 8th time up, Box Hill, 1 more lap to go. Once they get to the top and come around to the base. And just over 67 kilometers now away from the finish of this race today. That puts them a little more than 40 miles away from the finish in London.
Well, there's a lot of aggression going on in this bike race here this afternoon. Now that 62 kilometers or 40 miles should take them around about an hour and 20 minutes. And this move now coming from the Russian rider wearing number 62, and that's Alexander Kolobnev. He's a very good bike rider. There's the main field. We get a chance here just to see the distance between the peloton. You can see the main pack of riders there just coming around a zigzag bend there on Zigzag Hill. And just at the right-hand side, we get a chance to see the breakaway group just coming out of the woods.
And Kolobnev, the Russian, the bronze medalist in the road race back in Beijing in 2008, just behind Fabian Cancellara, who took the silver, and Sammy Sanchez of Spain, who won gold. However, he is not here this year to defend it. He was injured a few weeks back and had to pull out of competition for the Spanish team. That's why Jonathan Castroviejo, his Spanish teammate, is wearing number 1 today. There's a perfect illustration. On the right is the group at the front of the race. On the left is the main field chasing, led by Great Britain.
Well, that field has actually reduced in numbers quite a bit, I think just because of the repetitive nature of hitting this climb, Box Hill, every 10 miles. They go up this climb, go off the top of the northern downs here, down to the bottom of the climb, and once again start this very savage ascent. I'll tell you one thing from experience, I can tell you that a climb like this, if you're not feeling very well, when you know it's coming around again and again and again, it eats into your mind, it eats into your mentality, and it slowly can break a man's enthusiasm.
And it's something T.J. Van Gardner was talking about yesterday, the fact that teammates have to stay close together with one another because they have to communicate. They have to tell each other if they're not feeling well, if they should change tactics, if somebody else should go up the road. And for instance, on the American team, if Tyler Farah is saying, you know what, my legs are feeling heavy, I just don't think I'm going to have it in the sprint. You guys go ahead, and now check this out. This is TJ Van Garderen.
Well, he's looking for the move here this afternoon. He knows that's a very large group of riders, but look at the peloton here. Still, hardly a move or hardly any emotion at all on the faces of the riders from Great Britain. But lining up behind them now, you've got the pale blue jerseys. That's Belgium. They'll be looking after Tom Bonen this afternoon. A little bit further back, notice the colours of Astana. Well, they're not Astana, it's Kazakhstan, but it's almost the same colour. And then also moving up in the green and gold of Australia, Matthew Goss. These guys know this is a critical part of the race. Anybody who doesn't want this race to come down to a big sprint finish now towards the end has got to move now or on the next lap.
Most riders feel that if there's nothing serious that is going clear by that final lap, then they will attack the last time up Box Hill. Could be the most decisive moment of the race. And right now, our leading group, even though it's quite large, they don't have much of a margin here over the field.
No, there's not much work being done now. What we've got now is because some riders have come from the back, the guys who were in that early breakaway, the 12-man breakaway, they've got whittled down to 11 riders. They're looking for a slightly easier rise now, as we've just seen Jakob Fuglsang. He's the rider on the front. He's done almost the whole of the pace on the climb. Only wants to move to the top of the signal and ask for some help and assistance.
Right, coming to the top of the climb. Clock just starting a moment ago.
Oh, having a hard time now, number 9 there. He was in the breakaway very early on. That's Marco Pinotti. He's getting shoved off the back end of this group because of the pressure of the chase in the leading group of riders. Now, looking at this next group of riders, and that's TJ Van Garderen trying to keep
Did somebody say,
the
oh,
flick of the arm there was to indicate to the rider in second position, right, I've done my turn here. He's looking for around about 40 seconds behind that leading group of riders, but this is a good route by the American, who was 5th overall in the Tour de France this year.
As a point of clarification, this is the 8th time to the summit of the climb. We'll make the descent, come around, and then it will be one more time up Box Hill. As here comes the field, 54 seconds back.
Yeah, well, it's inside of the 1 minute margin. That will have the sprinters at least starting to feel that a little bit more confident now. They've done 184 kilometres. That's about 120 miles of racing this afternoon. There's still 30 miles to go to the finishing line.
This is the feed zone. Check out just how precarious it is to try and grab the bottles and the food bags on the fly. So the margin under a minute. The advantage tipping back towards the sprinters. The team from Great Britain has done a terrific job at whittling away the lead of our group up the road.
Humans. We mean well, but we're imperfect creatures living in a beautifully imperfect world. It's amazing we've made it this far. Maybe it's because when one of us messes up, someone else comes along to help out. That's the thing about humans. When things are at their worst, we're at our best. See how at libertymutual.com. Liberty Mutual Insurance. Responsibility. What's your policy?
For the first time ever, at Joseph A. Bank, all suits and sport coats are buy
no
one,
water.
get 3 more free. That's 4 suits or sport coats for the price of 1. Plus, everything else in the store is buy 1, get 2 free. All shirts, ties, pants, and casual wear. 2 days only. Buy 1, get 3 suits or sport coats free. Friday and Saturday only at Joseph A. Bank.
8 months ago, he was just a detective.
Have you been seeing strange things?
Now, his family secret has come to light.
You are one of the last criminals.
They're just gonna keep coming for me until I'm dead. Right then. Pretty sure that's how it works.
Grimm returns the Monday after the Olympics on NBC. City presents Community of Support.
I'm Bob Bryant.
And I'm Mike Bryant. We're very excited to be associated with Tennis in the Park.
Getting kids started, in tennis at an early age, it gives them organization in their life. It gives them structure.
Tennis in the Park is a worthy cause because it gives kids the chance to go out to a park, pick up a racket, and play tennis.
For more stories of athletes impacting their communities, visit NBCOlympics.com. Team USA and City, together every step of the way.
group still trying to put the pressure on Great Britain back at the head of the main field. But again, that team from Great Britain has everything within 1 minute now. As we come up on 4.5 hours in, just about 90 minutes or so.
The Royal Wall of
Next group on the road, and
Rose.
you can just see two Americans in the
Oh, yeah.
blue shorts there. That's Taylor Finney, who's actually left behind from that leading group, and now he's trying to pace the man in second position, TJ Van Garderen, into that leading group. But the whole of the race in the Olympic Games here this afternoon is spaced over 1 minute. Very different to what it was about 3 hours ago when we had a breakaway group of about 8 minutes.
Still have a group at the front, a very large one that includes the American Tim Duggan.
This is Robert Hessing. He's also trying to get across the gap. That's Taylor Finney. This is the
There
road
we
profile
go.
position
of Van Garderen coming through next. Christoph going through there for Norway.
Let's see
Just,
the rules.
Fitting himself onto the back of this group. The other Dutchman in this leading breakaway.
Gardner's
He was the
right.
man who was in the early breakaway, Louis Wiesler.
Now Finney, the only one of
Ah.
the Americans who has Olympic
What
experience,
is
raced the
this?
track in Beijing back in 2008. He was just 15 years of age. He finished 7th in the individual
Let's see the
pursuit
rules.
and thought that
Rules.
at the time he'd
No
have many more
mods.
cracks at it. But
Follow
they
the
changed
rules.
the track program, which took out his favorite
No auto
event.
lock.
He had to make the transition to the
No
road. And
fighting
he also
except
admitted that he didn't take the Olympics
in
as seriously
the
as he probably
arena.
should have. Had a lot of fun in the
Virtual
athletes' village, but this time around it has been all business in the months leading up to these Olympic Games.
Yes, he's a very talented bike rider. I would expect him in the years to come to win one of the big one-day races for the United States, a race like the Tour of Flanders or even Paris-Roubaix. This is a big acceleration now coming from Philippe Gilbert. 25 victories to his credit last year, and he knows if he wants to win the Olympic road race here, he's got to do it on this lap. He's got to break the stranglehold of Team Great Britain, who've controlled this race right from the very start. Now this is a very savage move.
Philippe Gilbert has made several attacks so far today. He really wants to make up for a disappointing early part of the season when the illness, the nagging injuries just kept him from being at his best after such a sensational 2011. So his entire season, all the disappointment could be wiped out with a strong performance here today, and he's been relentless in his attacks ahead of the main field.
Yes, he's now halfway around the last lap of Box Hill, and once he goes over the top of Box Hill for the final time, he'll face up to a 25-mile right back into the heart of downtown London and finish in the shadow of Buckingham Palace. You see his face there, you can almost feel the way he's gritting his teeth there to get that angle with his legs and try and put himself an advantage over that chasing group. The fact that I can see that chasing group massing across the road there gives me an indication.
Did somebody say moderator?
Top of the hill, back to the finish of the race. This really what worked against Philippe Gilbert. This is a classic move by him. He's an attacking, aggressive type of racer, but he's also very good. If you look back at his initial moments of that
Unlocking that
last attack.
model.
He's very good when the race has some kind of a sharp uphill finish. But today it's flat for so long that may mute his best skills.
Well, he took advantage of that corner there to attack very savagely into the corner and accelerate away. The rider behind him just could not stay on his wheel. And once you lose the wheel of a rider like Philippe Gilbert, it's very, very difficult to come back to it.
Back at the front end of the field. Steady. Holding serve. Team from Great Britain just rolling right along. And just not get much help. Everybody knows they are the ones to watch. They know that they wanted to come down to a sprint, so the other teams were looking from the back of the field. They make Great Britain do the work because the pressure's on Cavendish.
No, it certainly is. Just having a quick look at the back there. There is Bradley Wiggins, number 15. He's had an amazing season so far this year. We went back to his third place at the Tour of the Algarve, and after that he's dominated everything he's come to participate.
Now this is this past July, winning the Tour de France, the first British rider ever to accomplish that feat.
Well, that was in a very dominant individual time trial there, but on the final day, he was on the Champs-Élysées, and last night he was given the honour of ringing the bell, the Olympic bell, to open up the ceremonies.
And then earlier today, picking up water bottles for Mark Cavendish and the rest of his teammates.
Well, he knows how to be a team player, that's for sure. He's